Jeopardy! Host Ken Jennings has sparked outrage with a controversial score deduction on Monday's episode. Social media erupted with anger as fans criticized the decision as a poor ruling that robbed Lloyd Sy of his hard-earned lead. The drama unfolded in Double Jeopardy, where Lloyd had $10,600, Andy Tirrell led with $10,800, and Mark Back had $8,400. The Champions Wildcard semifinal match determined who would battle it out later in the week for $100,000 and a coveted spot in February's Tournament of Champions. Lloyd selected the $1,600 under the category DD, which was accompanied by a photo of the man in question. Ken, 49, read, "This 18th century guy was a novelist, journalist, and pamphleteer." Lloyd responded, "Who is Defoe?" And the host initially ruled him correct. "Correct, you're in the lead," Ken said, as Andy shook his head. When Lloyd later landed on the last daily double, pulling away with $17,400, Ken stopped the gameplay. He said, "Before you wager, Lloyd, let me just let you know, in the DD category, you responded Defoe instead of who is Daniel Defoe. I was too quick to give you credit there. We have to take away a little bit of your lead." Lloyd let out a huge sigh as he was deducted twice the clue's value for getting it wrong in a $3,200 swing. While he regained a narrow lead by Final Jeopardy, he lost the game to Andy, who was the only one to ace the final clue, finishing with $22,801. Very poor ruling. Fans, however, were not having it, pointing out Lloyd had indeed provided the correct response, and Ken never clarified the specific requirements of the category when introducing it. One Reddit user posted, "When Ken ruled Lloyd's response of Defoe correct under DD, I thought it must be a case of just one name being acceptable despite the category title. I wish Jeopardy would clarify when both the first and last name are required, like having say, and we'll need both Ds." Another user wrote, "This really bothered me. I went back and watched the intro to Double Jeopardy, and Ken never specified that all the correct responses had to be two words that both started with D. It was a very poor ruling, in my opinion." A third wrote, "Yeah, I feel like Lloyd should have only had the clue value deducted from his score because of that, though it obviously had no effect on the outcome." Andy and two more contestants decided Tuesday and Wednesday will battle it out for the cash prize and Tournament of Champions ticket instead. Tournament of Champions incoming. In happier news, the month-long wildcard clash, divided into two groups, is the last mini-tournament before the TOC premieres on February 23rd. After an upended season 40 of Jeopardy that's consisted of seemingly endless wildcards and second chances, the $250,000 winners tournament should be one for the books. The face-off includes 21-day winner Chris Pinello, the pro poker player who amassed the fifth regular play earnings in history last fall. The second seed is Canadian TV set designer Ray Lalonde. Then there's Ben Chan, the fan favorite who won all 9 of his victories in Runaways until that controversial Benedict Final Jeopardy ruling. There's also 8-day champ Hannah Wilson, whose run was ended by none other than Chan due to a co-returning champion's rarity match when the latter fell ill mid-street.